So life sciences industry is going through a major transformation that is redefining our healthcare system. Intersection of MedTech with emerging techs like AI, robotics, genomics, that is creating a breakthrough in diagnostic, treatment, and disease prevention. We continue to push the boundaries of innovation with advancement in areas like robotic surgery, wearable devices, and telemedicine. Every day, our industry is improvising, improving patient outcomes and quality of life by providing more personalized treatments. In this evolving landscape, ensuring patient safety and product quality continues to be a challenge. One key driver is the complexity and sophistication of medical devices, which can introduce potential risks such as device malfunction, cybersecurity, and even adverse event during the use of the devices. The emergence of interconnected devices and digital health solutions increases the importance of safeguarding patient data, privacy, and security. Addressing all these challenges will require new ways of thinking and working. To help us unpack all this, I'm joined by a very renowned MedTech quality and regulatory leader. Please join me in welcoming Peter. Peter is the Vice President of Global Quality Assurance and Regulatory Affairs at Thermo Fisher. He has more than 25 years of experience in MedTech. Prior to joining Thermo Fisher, Peter worked with Sysmex, Hospira, Abbott, and Siemens. Welcome, Peter. Before we get started, Peter, can you share a little bit more about your journey in the field of patient safety and quality?
Thanks, Rajesh. Good to see you and good to see all of our friends at KPMG and the audience. Really want to thank you for the opportunity to participate in this chat. Just to start by saying healthcare and life sciences have been a passion of mine throughout my career. Products and solutions in the healthcare and life science industries have a massive impact on the lives of patients, sometimes life or death, either directly or indirectly, by providing information healthcare professionals use to diagnose a patient's condition and develop an effective treatment plan. So very vital. And as a result, there's a lot of trust involved here. And as innovative or groundbreaking as a product may be, a product's credibility and validity lives and breathes on its quality, its accuracy, and its reliability. And without an ability to consistently deliver reliable, accurate products, really nothing else matters. Also want to say that I'm a big believer in advancing the quality and regulatory affairs profession through knowledge sharing and inspiring future leaders. The insights, connections, partnership, and ideas that I receive from events like this one has been really invaluable, Rajesh, in my career and to the companies that I've worked for, and some of them that you mentioned. And really excited to be here and again participate and provide some insights.
Peter, we are super excited as well. Before we get started, I want to start our conversation with unpacking a recent quote that I saw on LinkedIn that you posted. You wrote that building and strengthening a quality culture at a company requires long-term commitment, a comprehensive approach, and the support of management and frontline employees alike. Can you share a little bit more about how are you leveraging your experience, your passion, your commitment to deliver quality at Thermo Fisher?
So thanks, Rajesh, for the question. It's a good question. I've been continuously learning in this industry for more than 30 years at, as you mentioned, several leading companies. And during that time, I've had the benefit of my own experience and knowledge gained through relationships with peers at other companies. I sit on a number of external professional boards that help me get those perspectives. What I've learned through those experiences is that building or strengthening a quality culture requires several pieces, as there is no, in my opinion, no single quick, easy silver bullet solution. Number one is you have to have a strong sense of commitment to the mission, and so does the team that's helping you, as there will be frustrations, resistance, setbacks, and it will take time. Secondly, you need the support of both management and the rank and file. So if you think about it from a top-down point of view and a bottom-up point of view, you need all of that support. There are lots of different ways you can connect with and reach those groups. It isn't, though, a single broadcast email or presentation or even a town hall meeting. The narrative's got to be consistent, and you have to enlist the support of these groups in different ways. You need all of them. All of them have to help you succeed. Just management or just the rank and file is not going to be enough. You need to be in this, and I mean budgeted and supported and resourced for the long term, with a long-term effort that will enable quality to penetrate every part of the company, from the annual employee goals to visual cues, posters on the wall, key cultural programs that inspire folks to come to work every day and do a good job. And my last comment specifically with that is you need to make quality personal, a part of someone's identity as a colleague, about how they want to approach their profession and feel about the work they did at the end of the day. You want folks to come to work thinking about, how can I do a quality job as soon as I reach the front door and during the day, every day, no matter where it's done, no matter what you're making. It's that approach that we've taken at Thermo Fisher, and we've been pursuing now for several years.
Peter, I think it's a great point to how do we make quality personal, and to that extent, what can be more personal if you're directly selling product to consumers, for example. We are seeing a lot of growth in direct-to-consumer products, more so in the diagnostic area as well, that more and more diagnostics are going directly to the consumers. I, as a consumer, as a patient, I can do my own testing. I can get my results right away on my phone, and those are the things that we are seeing across the board. It's more about empowering patients, empowering employees, empowering everyone who is working in the quality as well. So going back to your point of making quality personal for everyone, patients as well as for the employees, how companies should think about delivering better patient journeys, keeping in mind that quality is everyone's perspective, everyone's job, everyone need to think about this. And how do we build more innovative digital health products in the market? How do we launch it in the market?
Yeah, it's another great question. I think technology is bringing really exciting innovations to patient treatment on many levels, both for the patient and the healthcare professionals that treat them. That journey also is evolving from access to information to new tools and to treatments. I think companies need to start by seeing technology and embracing it and not see it as a threat. The same holds true for the healthcare professionals. They need to consider how they can add value in changing patient experiences. And one example, of course, comes to mind is patient apps mean people are getting their test results back faster, diagnostics, than ever before. But sometimes even before a doctor has been able to interpret those results, which can cause a lot of patient anxiety. So I think we need to continue to consider enhancements from the perspective of the patient and the patient experience in the way they think, and as it is in the patient's vocabulary. The more patient-centric we are, I think the more successful we'll be, because patients want a better experience, and let's not forget the payers want lower cost. And I think the challenge for us in this space is to find ways to deliver on both those objectives. I would look towards partnerships among different companies in the space who maybe we never envisioned working together before. We could create some powerful, innovative products and solutions that really could make a difference.
Peter, one example I'll share with you, that even this morning I had a test done and I got the results, and before anything I was Googling all over the place. I was checking it out what it is, and I was just sweating over it that, oh my God. Yeah. And then after an hour, I got a letter from my physician saying that nothing is there. So that highlights the point of direct-to-consumer products. A diagnostic result that's written in a medical terms may mean something very different, and patient is going to do some sort of Google and try to find it out, and then just kind of waste time on this. So some of these things we are seeing more and more. How do we educate the patients? How do we get the information in front of the patient so they are not trying to go figure it out on the web and trying to understand what exactly that means?
Yeah.
And then to that extent, we are seeing more and more AI is coming into the play. And then, Peter, you and I talked about this a couple of times.
Yeah.
I want to kind of, talk a little bit more about how you are thinking of using and how you're using. In fact, you guys are already doing it. Use of AI to improve the quality of the product, to improve at least more on the quality and regulatory side, how that's being used to improve the product quality, have a better patient journey, have a better experience for the patients. So that's something, if you can share some of your thoughts on how you're using it in terms of bringing new solutions, new therapies to the patients, and also improving the quality using AI.
Yeah. No, and I'm certainly glad that you got a letter letting you know things were okay. That's most important. I think to your question, I think the Quality and Reg Affairs organization at Thermo Fisher has been is uniquely positioned. In fact, I think the function in any company is uniquely positioned to benefit from AI, especially because in our case, because of what we've created with our Gen AI tools, we can limit the input to our own data and can protect that data. We are a company of many different businesses, as some of you may know. We've acquired many companies over the years, and we continue to do so. Over time, many of them develop their own quality processes and regulatory standards and practices, and AI is going to help us. For example, one use case, look across all those processes and practices at Thermo Fisher and identify the ones that make the most sense for the company to be the same, and build on the work we've already done in creating standards in a fraction of the time. Typically, when you harmonize a quality management system, it can take months, even years. I think AI can help us get to that quickly. As it relates to patient outcomes, I think AI can definitely help with understanding what's the trend in patient results, and can AI create like the letter you got, Rajesh? Can AI create that to be linked to the result so that you get both at the same time? So you don't have to search Google, you don't have to worry and get anxiety about that test result. I think we've only scratched the surface of possibilities with AI because it can be applied in many different places. I just mentioned two here. And I think at the end of the day, it's all about the old cliche. It's about working smarter, not harder, to achieve our dual challenges of improving quality, patient outcomes, and reducing costs, which is, again, top of mind for many.
Peter, absolutely. That's a great point, that how do we use these technologies to improve the quality for the patients, the better journey for the patients, better outcome for the patients, as well as making sure that these products are safe in the marketplace for the patients and for the consumers and for the providers as well. Now, kind of on the same theme, what I wanted to explore a little bit more about is, what is your main concern? What wakes you up in the night in terms of, as a quality and regulatory leader in this space, where you see this the new technologies going, and what is the risk that is being introduced by these platforms or technologies that's coming in terms of patient quality and safety?
Yeah. So I think, again, thanks for that question, Rajesh. I think we've got to be pragmatic and thoughtful in our approach towards the use of AI and patient safety and that overall journey. I think we got to, again, be innovative, but I think you also have to have a person there, looking at whatever that solution is to make sure that what we're providing is accurate and correct and reliable. Like I said at answering the first question you gave me, keeping me up at night is what I don't know. We've got a huge product portfolio. It's very exciting. It's very high quality, but making sure that folks are following the instructions for use of the labeling, making sure they're filing or calling us if there's confusion. Is there something that AI could help with answering questions for them, as they happen, so that they're not delaying treatment or delaying results. For Thermo Fisher, part of what keeps me awake at night, that was really your question, is it's excitement and the challenges that we have. The shape of our company is always changing. The work of building and strengthening a quality culture and establishing consistent standards is never done. And I'll tell you, just when it seems like you've reached a milestone, and you can take a bit of a breath, the company is out there acquiring facilities or companies and employees that requires us to bring them into the family, and by doing so, you've got to make sure they understand how to make quality personal, right? Because they may not have had that experience in their prior firm. We've all had, as you know, different sets of experiences that influence our decision making. And every day, hundreds of decisions related to quality are being made by people with different backgrounds. So again, keeping me up at night, some of those quality related decisions may be made by people who've never underwent an audit before or had production halted by a regulatory agency. So, we've got to get those quality views balanced, get the right skill sets, the right competencies in place so that, we don't keep ourselves up at night, that we have the confidence and the trust to do things the right way across Thermo Fisher.
I think, Peter, that's an excellent point. Kind of carrying the same conversation, I was thinking about if you have to classify or identify what are the three biggest problems or challenges that you see in achieving better quality within the MedTech. So is it more about the regulatory? Is it more about the new complexity in the devices and the products? Is more about the behavior of the patients, or changing economic systems and the payment structure and other? What do you see as a major concerns, or two or three kind of top quality and regulatory challenges that you see?
Yeah, so I would say, Rajesh, again, very insightful question. First, and maybe this is not what you expected me to say, but first, it's the respect and legitimacy and the importance of the role of quality in regulatory affairs. So no matter how innovative a product may be or how competitively priced it is or how effectively it is marketed, medical devices succeed or fail on quality. And just having a quality organization isn't enough. It needs to be funded to be effective and resourced properly. It needs to be embraced as an invaluable business partner. And, as quality and regulatory professionals, we need to earn that respect, finding ways to yes instead of lots of reasons to say no. So firstly, I would answer your question that way, that the importance of this function is, cannot be underestimated. Secondly, there's a saying that if you aren't at the table, you're on the menu. We need to be at the table early on. So the function needs to be there when the innovative ideas come to life and, come from the mind of a scientist or a researcher and hit the paper. How can the quality and regulatory team work collaboratively with the R&D organizations to have those early discussions so that we're building quality into the products and not having to wait, well into a research or a development phase to make it happen. I've been in a number of companies, as you stated, and in many cases where products have not been successful, it's been because the quality and regulatory implications were not well quantified, in the beginning. And lastly, I would say, as it relates to technology and AI, we've got to know what we know and be prepared to look in the mirror and admit, what we don't know, but are willing to go out and learn from. Because if we don't, have that ability to be curious and courageous at the same time, we're never going to make any progress. So I really want to make sure that, thirdly, that we've got to work collaboratively as a team in our companies. It means respecting all seats at the table in order to make it happen and be successful with patients and customers.
Peter, 2 points that you made, and I really like those 2 points. One is medical devices succeed or fail with quality. I think that's a really, really good data point for all of our audience to think. So that's the one part. And the second part that you said was quality need to be at table in the entire life cycle. Oftentimes we see that is the last aspect. I'm done with the designing the product. Now I need to bring someone from quality. So I think those are the two things that everyone can think about, that how do we improve the quality of the product, as well as how do we bring quality throughout the life cycle of the product. Just trying to wrap up, and then one data point that I want to ask you is, there are so many exciting things that are happening in our industry. What are your predictions for the future? If we have the same conversation 5 years down the line, what are the things that you would like to see in the industry? Where are we going?
Yeah. No, again, thank you for that question. You know, interesting. Quality is in the news like never before. I mean, you cannot open the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, Washington Post, you know, any news source without seeing something about quality. For example, you know, we've got colleagues at Boeing that are going through a really tough time right now, and it all comes back to, you know, quality on the floor, quality in the designs, quality once the products are released, right? And I think there's a lot of lessons for what, you know, Boeing's going through that we in the function in the industry of MedTech and life sciences has to consider that you know, we're never done. You know, just because you know, we're finished with a design or finished making a product or a pilot product, there's still so much more work to be done to ensure that product is right. So I think, you know, in the next 3 to 5 years, you know, we've really got to look in the mirror as an industry and make sure, again, with what's happened at Boeing, I think as an example, you know, are we doing our level best across our companies to prevent, you know, some of those very things from happening to us, right? Secondly, I think, you know, with the advent of social media, and I think it's here, information is traveling faster than ever. And I think that's only going to accelerate in the next 3 to 5 years. And as you know, you can't control it. It's out of the question. So really, prevention is the best strategy. So how do we, again, as industry members, you know, collectively look at the work that we have to do and think differently about it? How do we use technology to help each other create, for example, better outsourcing opportunities? You know, again, that's been in the news as well, right? Outsourcing has been part of the lexicon for years, but you know, if we're not going to watch what happens at our partners that are outsourced, you know, we're going to get exactly what we put into it, you know. And so I think in the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to see the need for us to do a lot more in supplier quality, because at the end of the day, the buck stops with us, you know, and we've got to make sure that, you know, when you're administering aid, or I was at an ER recently, you're there helping patients get better, you know, they got to have the trust that, you know, whatever company's product they're using, that supply chain is robust and well managed. But as you think about the you know, students today, the younger generations today, how are we best positioned to support them in their medical journey? You know, a lot of them, you know, lose insurance after 26. A lot of them don't know what to do. You know, how do we help them be successful and maintain, you know, their health, you know, for their longevity? So I think those would be, I think, probably 3 areas, Rajesh, that I think about in terms of, you know, where the industry needs to focus, you know, to make sure that, you know, we're always doing the right thing. And again, making quality personal, because it shows up in the results that people get.
Making quality personal, I think, Peter, that's a great point, and great point for the audience and for everyone listening to and watching this session. That's all the time we have today. On behalf of KPMG and our audience, I want to thank you for taking time and sharing your insights as well. Thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Rajesh. Good to see you, and my best, everyone.
Thank you.